We seek you here for brethren to prevent your bodies until living sacrifice. My hand complete your ways. My mind will say your word. My life will know your ways. My mind will say
You're welcome to today's class, and the last class we looked into
Please.
yes, how are you? Welcome. So the previous class, about 2 classes ago, we looked into laws of indices. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so right now we're going to solve some questions that have to do with basic laws of indices. Just a few questions, so that whenever
Okay,
you
sir.
solve question, you will know that it is indices we are referring to. So I'll be sharing the screen with you right away to talk about
Okay, sir.
work examples involving laws of indices. So I'll be putting up some questions right away. So number 1 question. Number 1 question says, three raised to power x equal to 1 all over 81. So let's look at it and see. Number one, 3 raised to power something equal to 1 over 81. So we have to find this something. Now the question could be written as 3 question mark then equal to 1 over 81. So in this way, there is something we need to do. We need to see that this 3 is a base. It has a common base with 81 because 3 is a factor of 81. So all we have to say is 3 raised to power x equal to 1 all over 3 raised to power 4. Remember that 3 raised to power 4 is not 3 times 4. No, it's not. But 3 raised to power 4 means 3 in 4 places, which is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And if you multiply all this together, you get 81. So while I have this, there is an aspect of the law of indices that says that if you have 1 over something, you can change it to become that something raised to -1. That is -1. So if you have 1 over, let's assume you have 1 over a squared. So this is going to become -2. That is a raised to power -2. If it's 1 over a, that is a raised to power 1 under, because you don't have to put the 1. So 1 over a simply means, let me clean this so that I will write a. So 1 over a simply means a raised to power -1. Then 1 over a squared simply means a raised to power -2. Also 1 over a cubed will mean a raised to power -3. Then 1 over 3 raised to power 4 will mean 3 raised to power -4. So I can now equate this and the third equation, and it becomes 3 raised to power x equal to 3 raised to power -4. And since 3 is the same as 3, then x must be -4. So I can say x equal to -4. Therefore, this is my answer, but if I want to check, I'll just put it back here and say 3 raised to power -4 will give me 1 over 1. Yes, you can always convert it back. But this is the answer. So if you want to convert it back from 3 raised to minus 4 to give you 1 over 81, I'm just going to introduce a 1 here so that it will be 1 all over 3 raised to power 4, and that is the answer. So we're going to look at another example now, which is example 2. For example 2, I have 2 raised to power x equal to 1 over 2. 2 raised to power x, 2 raised to power something equal to 1 over 2. In the same way, we can say this is equal to 2 raised to power x, 2 raised to power minus 1. Then in this question, it's easier to say x equals to minus 1. X equals to minus 1. Then we can look at the third question there. For this third question, it says 5 raised to power x equal to 1 over 125. 5 raised to power x equal to 1 over 125. So the same way I will say 5 raised to power x equals to 1 over 5 cubed, because 5 in 3 places, so 5 times 5 times 5 will give me 125. Then I can say 5 raised to power x now equals 5 raised to power x now equals 5 raised to power minus 3. I can say x equal to minus 3. Okay, let's look at the fourth question here. Into the fourth question, this is what I have. 36 raised to power x equal to 6. Yeah, this looks confusing. It says 36 raised to power something should give me 6. How manage? How come? How can 36 raised to power something and it now give me 6, which is a number less than 36? Okay, that is possible. It depends on what the value of x is. If x is 1, obviously 36 raised to power 1 is not equal to 6. So let us see what that should be. There is a law in, okay, let's firstly consider the factor side, that 6 is a factor of 36, and we have 6 squared all raised to power x also equal to 6. Now, under what condition can this 2 becomes 1? That means I'll multiply it by half. If I multiply 2, because if 6 must be 6, then 2 must turn to 1, and all these things above must turn to 1. So, under what condition will 2x equal to 1? So, when 2x equals to 1, then you can say x equals to half. Let me put it that way. X equals to half, because if 6 must be equal to 6, then this must be raised to power 1. And every power a also must be equal to 1. And you remember when we were doing product law in indices, we said when you see a power and another power, you multiply. So this gives me 6 raised to power 2x equal to 6 raised to power 1. So if 2x can be 1, then you divide both sides by 2, x equal to half. Then you can say 6 raised to power, you can say 36 now, if you want to put the value of your x. So 36 raised to power half, which is our x, because x equals to half. 36 raised to power half now equal to 6, which is 6 raised to power 1. Obviously, 36 raised to power half is 6. How do we get that? 36 is 6 squared, then raised to power half. And when you multiply this with cancel, then you have 6 raised to power 1. Please unmute yourself and tell me if you get this explanation. Yes, let me know if you get the explanation or if you have any questions.
I don't have any questions, sir.
Okay, that is good. You can mute yourself back so that we'll continue with the next question. Okay, the next question says 36 raised to power something equal to 1 over 6. Okay, this is more like what we just finished solving. 36 raised to power something equals to 1 over 6. So that's number 4 there. So number 5, 36 raised to power x equals to 1 over 6. So in this, guys, you can say, okay, 36, or not 36 this time around, 6 raised to power 2x equal to 6 raised to power minus 1, because we say 1 over anything, so to minus at the power. Then we can equate the powers now. That will be 2, since 6 is 6, then the power must be equal. 2x equals to negative 1, then x is going to be minus 1 over 2. So once x is minus 1 over 2, then we found it. Or we can rewrite it and say 36 raised to power minus half equal to 6 raised to power minus 1, or 1 over 6 according to the question. Now to number 6. Sixth question. This question says 7 raised to power x equal to 49. 7 raised to power something equal to 49. Obviously, we know 7 is the factor of 49, so 7 raised to power x equals to 7 raised to power 2. So once we equate this, then you can say x equals to 2. That is pretty simple. And number 7. So number 7, this is what I have. 7 raised to power something equals to 343. 7 raised to power x equal to 343. Again, 7 is the factor of 343. So 7 raised to power x equals to 7 raised to power 3. Because 7 times 7 is 49, and 49 times 7 is 3. So with that, you can see here is equal to 3. Then number 8. So number 8 question says 17 raised to power x. 17 raised to power x equal to 1 over 17. 17 raised to power x equal to 1 over 17. Here I can say 17 equal to, raised to power x equals to 17 raised to power minus 1. Then if 17 is 17, then x must be minus 1. Then number 9 question there. Number 9 question, 125 raised to power x equal to 5. 125 raised to power x equal to 5. Yes, again, like what we saw the other time that we're saying 36 raised to power something equals 6. So this is the same thing. We can say this is 5 raised to power 3x plus 5 raised to power 3 is 125, then equals to 5 raised to power 1. So if 5 is 5, then 3x times 1, then x equals to 1 over 3. X equals to 1 over 3. So we have a few questions to solve. Again, we have a few questions to solve. So 1 over 2 equal to 2 raised to power something. So let's see that one as I clear the screen for number 10. So 1 over 2 equals to 2 raised to power something. Here I can say 2 raised to power minus 1 equal to 2 raised to power x. So negative 1 equal to x. Then it means x equals to negative 1. X equals to negative 1. So that is question 10 there. That is question 10. Then we're going to move to number 11 now. Question 11. So question 11 says, let's look at what question 11 reads. Question 11 says 1 over 4 equal to 2 raised to power something. 1 over 4 equals to 2 raised power something. So let's see how to solve that. It's a 1 over 4 equal to 2 raised power something. So we have to find that something, that x, we have to find it. So if I say 1 over 4 equals to, then you know that 2 is a factor of 4. So we can replace this with 2 raised to power 2. So 1 over 2 squared equal to 2 raised to power x. And from what we explained before, that when you say 1 over, it means minus to that power. So I have 2 raised to power negative 1 equals to 2 raised to power x. Since 2 is 2, then negative 1 is x. So minus 1 equals to x, or you say x equals to minus 1. So if x stands for minus 1, that means our original question becomes 1 over 4 equal to 2 raised to power minus, it's going to be, say x equals to minus 1, say, so 1 over 4 equals to 2 raised to power minus 1. And number 12 now, number 12 question that we're solving under this topic. Number 12 says 1 over 100 equal to 10 raised to power something. 1 over 100 equals to 10 raised to power something, and you have to find that something. In the same way that we have solved this, 10 is a factor of 100, so we replace it with 10, and that is going to be 10 squared. 1 over 10 squared equals to 10 raised to power x. Then here it becomes 10 raised to power minus 2 equal to 10 raised to power x. Then we can say x equals to minus 2. And that solves the 12 questions. Okay, I'm going to write out a few more questions for us to solve that doesn't look like what we have been solving, but they still follow laws of
Good afternoon, sir.
all right, you're welcome, and just concentrate on the lesson. Now, the next question that I'm going to solve now says 270 equal to 2 times 3 raised to power n times 5. 270 equal to 2 times 3 raised to power n times 5. Let's see that as number 15. 270 equals to 2 times 3, 2 raised to power n. 2 times 3 raised to power n times 5. So that is 2 times 3 raised to power n, n times 5. Still looking at it with the angle of the law of indices, so we should find n. So look at this very carefully, because I will give you one to try now. Find n. Find the power of 3 in this. Okay, obviously 2 and 5 are also factors of 270. But this is clear enough that if we divide this into 2, we will have, if we split it into like 27 times 10, which is 270, then we have our 2 times 3 raised to power n times 3 raised to power n, then times 5. We have it on the right hand side from the question. Here we can still split the 10 into 2 and 5, while this 27 has a factor in 3 already. So I can say 3 raised to power 3, and that's 27, times 2 raised to power 1 times 5 raised to power 1 equal to 2 times 3 raised to power n times 5. So if 2 is 2 here and 5 is 5 here, the only thing that remains is the 3 and the 3. That means n equal to 3 for this to stand. This is very simple. I'll go over the explanation. You are looking for n, which is the power of this 3. You have 270 on the left side. You have 2, 3, and 5 here. 2, then 3 raised to power n. This is power 1, this is power 1, this is power n. You split this into what will give you the factors of the numbers that you have. So I believe, okay, 27 times 10 give me this. So 27 already caters for 3, being a 3 is a factor and 27 is a multiple. Now 10 doesn't have any i's here, so we can now say, okay, 2 times 5 is 10, so I have 10 here. So 2 and 5, 2 and 5, then the remaining is just 3 and 3 then. The only odd one out is the n, which stands for the power 3. Okay, let's look at a question here, number 14. Number 14. Let's look at what that says. Question 14 says 5 times 8 raised to the power 3n plus 1. 5 times 8 times 8 raised to the power 3n plus 1 equal to 80. Now, I would have asked you to do this and say you should do this as your classwork or whatever, but let me try to explain. We're finding n or finding n, so you have to find n. Or let me just say the two of you should do it. I give you 3 minutes. Tell me your answers. So find n. Find. Now try it out now. I will call you one by one. Tell me your answer. So you are finding the value of n. So at the end of 3 minutes, I will ask for your answer. Yes, 2 minutes more now. Okay, 1 minute more. Once the time is up, I will ask for your answer in a few seconds. Okay, the time is up. Gift, what is your answer to this question? What is your N? Yes, gift, what is N? I'm waiting to hear from gift. Unmute yourself and tell me the value of N. Which value did you get for N? Gift. Yes.
I've not yet gotten my answer, sir.
Okay, you've not yet gotten your answer. What about Tracy? You can mute yourself back. Have you gotten your answer?
No, sir.
Okay. So if you guys couldn't get it within 3-4 minutes, so that you should just concentrate and look at the correction. And I'll call up some questions to give you to get your answers to. So look at the explanation now. Remember when we were faced with this question 13, I looked at what we have on the right hand side and I tried to split the whole number here into what can give us multiple of all of this. Now, here now, this is 80. Once you see 5 and 8, you know 8 is a factor of 80 and 5 is also a factor of 80. But I can split it into something that will go with 8 and will go with 5 as well. Let's say 10 times 5 is 8. Yes. So I can say 5 times 8 raised to the power 3n plus 1 equal to 16 times 5. Because 16 times 5 is going to give me 80. Make sure you focus on this. Now I can see 5, I can see 5. Now it means I can even remove the 2 5s and say the only remaining one is this plus 1 equal to 16. And if this is equal to 16, all I will have to do is to look at, okay, 8 raised to power what is 16? Okay, that cannot work. Then I will say 2 raised to power what is 8? That's 2 raised to power 3. Then don't forget we have 3n plus 1. Because 2 raised to power 3 is 8. Then this is also 2 raised to power 2 raised to power 4, giving us 16. Remember, 2 raised to power 4 is not 2 times 4. Because 2 times 4 is 8. But 2 raised to power 4 simply means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16. That's why I use 2 raised to power 4 to replace 16. So since 2 is 2, then the power can be equal. I will say 3 into 3n plus 1 equal to 4, which is the power. Then I can open the bracket and say 3 times 3 is 9n. Then 3 times 1 is 3. Then I have 4. Then I can say 9n equals 4 minus 3. Equals to 4 minus 3. You take the 3 to the other side. Then you can continue and say 9n equal to, what is 4 minus 3? That is 1. So 9n equals to 1. Then in this guys, you want to find n, divide both sides by 9. So n equals to 1 over 9. Now, I want you to unmute yourselves and ask your question. Let me have your question or tell me if you understand. Yes, gift. Let me have your question or tell me if you understand. Then Tracy, let me have your own question.
I don't understand how you got 3n plus 1 equals 2. I don't understand.
3n plus 1. 3n plus
Yes.
1 equals to what?
How do you tell me? No, like I don't understand how you turn it into 3.
You mean the 8 into 3?
No,
I mean-
9n plus 3. I don't know how you got the 3.
Okay. Wait a minute. Let me check that, please. This is it. You open your bracket. What is 3 times 3?
9.
That is 9n here, right?
Yes, sir.
Then if you use the same 3 to multiply 1, what is 3 times 1?
3.
That is where I got 9n plus 3 from. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Tracy, over to you.
No questions, sir.
So you understand it, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So I think I'm going to put up 1 or 2 more questions, then we end the mathematics aspect of the class for today. Let me clear this right now. So here is a question that I have here. It says to find let's see. Okay, this is just like a straightforward question, but let me still put it. 21g raised to the power 8, then h squared v. Let me put it up. 21g raised to the power 8, 1g. Let's just write it. 21g raised to the power 8, h squared. Let me see. 21g raised to the power 8, h squared v divided by 3gh of vh. Let me see. H squared v divided by 3gh. Gh. Now when you, I said divided, so it's divided, not. So divided by 3gh, you have to simplify. Now, once you see anything like this, you know that 21 will divide 3 to give me 7. 3 will divide 21 to give me 7. Or you can write it as 21 gh squared v all over 3gh. So here now we can say 3l1, 3l7. So that is 7. Then g. When you pick the 2 g's, this power of g is 1, and the power here is 8. That is 8 minus 1. Then when you pick the h squared, then the power here is 1. Because we are dividing, you also say minus 1. But v doesn't have anything down, so in apple. Then finally we say 7g raised to power 7, h raised to power 1, v raised to power 1, but we don't put power there. So tell me if you understand what I've done here, or you have.
I understand, sir.
Okay, that's very good. So, Gift, what about you?
I understand, sir.
Okay, that's good. So that is where we're going to be running up with mathematics. In the next 10 minutes, we expect 10 minutes.